Hello ladies, I am back with another Dear Her letter from our Dear Her letter series. And this one I hold special to my heart because I have personally experienced this for myself. Today's letter is for the postpartum woman. Dear Her, to the woman whose hair started shedding after she had the child she had been praying for. You spent years trying to have a child and it finally happened. Then you spent 9 months growing hair that you were never able to grow before. Only during your postpartum season, you started losing your hair. It's falling out at the temples, excessively shedding every time you comb it or brush it or run your fingers through it. You start thinking that you're going to have to start over again. What can you do? Is this going to continue for a long time or even forever? The truth is this. This is a natural thing that your hair cycle goes through when you have a shift in your hormones. And it affects every woman differently. You can support your scalp and hair health during and after your pregnancy. This hair loss is temporary, and you can still have beautiful, healthy, growing hair. Sincerely, your hair restoration specialist. So, my daughter is now 8 years old. She'll be 9 in December. And I was never able to grow long hair. It would grow, then it would shed, and it would break, and I would just cut it, and I would normally keep it short. And then when I got pregnant with her, I still had it short, but the top of it was full and long, and it was healthy. And I was excited because my hair had never done that before. And then probably about 3 months after I had her, every time I combed it, like hair was just falling out in the sink. And I said, what in the world is going on? And then after a few days of just experiencing that, I ended up saying, you know what, Shannon, you just had a baby. So that is what's happening with your hair. So what I started doing was I started back taking my prenatal vitamins. And the shedding still happened because, like I said earlier, this is a natural part of the hair cycle that it goes through when there's a shift in your hormones like that. And so it still shed. It didn't shed as much, but I just did that to continue to support my growth and the health of my hair during my postpartum season. And there are other things that you can do as well, which we will talk about in just a second here. So hair loss is the way that it is because there's a spike in hormones before and after you get pregnant. Hormones are out of whack. You have the baby, hormones are out of whack again. And so it's adjusting the hair growth cycle and how the hair growth cycle functions. Some people, even during pregnancy, lose hair during pregnancy. It's different for every woman. You can't compare one woman's experience to the next, and you cannot compare one pregnancy experience to the next because they're all different, okay? So there's a lifestyle shift while you're pregnant. You're eating better, you're eating more, you're eating all of the right things, you're drinking water, you're taking your prenatal vitamins, and you're doing what you need to do, not necessarily for yourself, but for the health of the baby, which is normal. That's what we do as women and as mothers. We are nurturers. We are supposed to care for our children even before they are born, while we are carrying them. The problem with that is once we have the baby, we feel like we can stop, because the reason why we were doing all of the things that we were doing at first is because of the baby. But what we need to know and recognize is we still have to maintain some level of self-care for ourselves and the baby during our postpartum season, okay? And that is why the hair loss is the way that it is and as extreme as it is because hormones are all over the place and you're doing all of the right things, and then you stop doing the right things and hormones are still all over the place. So you have all of these factors that are playing a part in going against your hair growth cycle and affecting it in a negative way. Scalp and hair support after. Continue taking your prenatal vitamins. Continue eating the right foods. Continue to maintain your stress levels, making sure that your stress is low and normal. This is going to be healthy for not just you, but it's also going to be healthy for the baby. Also, if you're breastfeeding, you're going to want to continue to do the right things, eat the right things, take your prenatal vitamins, and do what the doctor is recommending for you to do to maintain your health, because ultimately the baby is taking from you. So you want to be healthy as well. Continue to drink your water. Just continue to maintain the healthy habits that you had while you were pregnant after you have the baby, and take the prenatal vitamins and maintain your stress levels, get proper sleep. All of those things are going to help play a role. Now, it does not mean that the shedding is going to stop, but you can support your hair and scalp health as much as possible to keep it from being bad or worse than it could be. And the last thing I want to say is give yourself some grace, mama. You just had a baby. You just carried a whole human being for 9 months, and you just birthed a whole human being. Give yourself some grace, okay? Everything is not going to go back to normal immediately, but what you do is you support yourself and your child while you are going through this. Your body has to adjust, okay? So if this letter resonated with your heart or your spirit, I would like for you to comment and share your thoughts. I would like for you to comment and share your testimony if you have one. And until next time, you are not what you went through. You are who God created you to be.